Access to the controversial morning after pill denied.
The clock is ticking for you to change your Medicare plan for next year.
Real or fake? Which type of Christmas tree do you prefer? KOMU 8 News at 10 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Don't plan on getting the morning after pill on store shelves anytime soon. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jem Reek.
And I'm Christy Nix. The U.S. Health Department rejected an application to allow Plan B One Step to be sold over the counter. KOMU 8's Heather Trumpfeller shows us what local health professionals are saying about the issue.
Pharmacists fill many different prescriptions each day, and Plan B One Step will continue to be another drug that's sold only behind the counter.
There's good purpose, there's good reasoning, there's good rational thought behind that.
Food and Drug Administration claims the drug is a safe and effective way to prevent unintended pregnancy. Heather Trumpfeller, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services secretary says she rejected the application because she does not believe enough data was presented to support the decision to make Plan B One Step available over the counter for females of all ages.
Today is the last day you can switch your Medicare prescription drug plan for next year. Under many plans, drugs are cheaper when you're in the so-called donut hole, meaning that your drug spending is between $2,900 and $6,600. For next year, brand name drugs are 50% covered, and coverage for generic drugs doubles from 7% to 14%. Remember, the deadline is midnight tonight.
Well, it sure was nice to see the sunshine out across central Missouri today, but that sunshine was rather deceiving because it was bitter cold out there. Temperatures dropped down to 20 degrees. To start your Thursday, I'll have details on that weekend forecast coming up.
Michelle, thanks. The Missouri Gaming Commission rolled out a revision today for a ban on problem gamblers. But some say the change is now gambling with safety. KOMU 8's Kylie McGivern tells us what this means for thousands of Missourians. Kylie?
Christy, what used to be game over, a lifetime voluntary ban for more than 16,000 people on the state's casino exclusion list.
This program really was geared more toward problem gamblers, people who voluntarily signed up on a list.
Those who are now eligible to file an application to get off the state's casino exclusion list must have spent at least 5 years on that list. Missouri was one of 3 states who had a mandatory ban. Iowa and Michigan are now the only other 2.
Kylie, thanks. Sedalia shut down a bridge after engineers found it wasn't safe. An inspection found the Washington Avenue Bridge had several weak beams. The city closed the 100-year-old bridge yesterday until further notice. It's the only way to reach the northeast side of town without crossing the railroad tracks. This shouldn't be a problem unless a long train blocks the crossings.
We're okay to have a fire truck go across it at no more than like 5 miles an hour with somebody watching, but that would only be in a real emergency situation.
Beck says the city expects to have a report recommending whether to repair or replace the bridge in the next 2 to 4 weeks.
The Salvation Army chapter of Mid-Missouri told KOMU 8 today that gift donations are up almost 30% from last year. The Salvation Army distributed gift bags filled with various items such as shoes, groceries, and hygiene products to needy families. While gift donations are taking off, the Red Kettle donations are slow. The regional coordinator says that people are still donating gifts but can no longer give as much money.
I just hear that nationally the Red Kettle campaign is suffering some, in that the economy, people are having to decide, well, should I give $100 or should I give $50? And I think people are deciding to give $50.
Matthews also says there is a greater demand for need this year, with almost 100 more families qualifying for the program than last year. It's a debate that comes up often this time of year.
Do you get a live tree or a fake tree for the holidays? KOMU 8's Christy Lewis is live in Columbia, where she caught up with a group that's pretty set in its ways. Christy?
Jim, I'm at the Hinkson Creek Christmas Tree Farm, and the area that I'm standing in used to be filled with Christmas trees, kind of like this big 6 or 7 footer behind me. But now, depending on what kind of artificial tree you get, whether it's pre-lit or depending on the height, they usually run you about $100. Reporting live in Boone County, Christy Lewis, KOMU 8 News.
Christy, thank you very much. Despite protests, Vladimir Putin is officially in the race for Russia's top job.
The effects of Japan's nuclear disaster is now showing up in baby food. Welcome back. Vladimir Putin officially declared his candidacy for Russia's presidential election.
And a Japanese company is recalling hundreds of thousands of cans of infant formula. KOMU 8's Alexandra Stone has those stories and more in tonight's Worldview.
That's right. We begin in Moscow tonight, where Prime Minister Vladimir Putin officially registered as a presidential candidate for his political party today. This comes after 2 nights of protests in Moscow and St. Petersburg against the results of Sunday's parliamentary elections. And that's your look around the world tonight.
The former Penn State coach in jail again on new charges of sexual abuse.
And Tehran slams a cyber door to the United States.
And we look to cool down as we head on into your Friday, but good news, a nice warm-up is in store by the end of your weekend. I'll have details coming up next on KOMU 8 News at 10.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with meteorologist Michelle Bogowitz.
Welcome back to you all. The time is 10:13. You are taking a look at our day track. Sky came out across the city of Fulton today. Check out that sunshine. We saw quite a bit of that throughout the afternoon, and that helped those temperatures to warm up much more than what we saw yesterday. But check out the gradual increase of these temperatures. We go from the lower 30s on Friday to the mid and lower 40s on Sunday, and those 40s stick around for the start of your work week next week. So things are looking pretty good. Sure. A little closer to average once we get through the remainder of your work week this week.
Good. Thanks, Michelle.
Yep.
Back in a moment, but first your lottery numbers. Good luck.
Welcome back. Former Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky is back in jail tonight, arrested today on new charges of alleged child sexual abuse.
NBC's Kurt Gregory reports.
Mr. Sandusky, any comments? Anything you'd like to say?
Police led Jerry Sandusky away from his home in handcuffs this afternoon following new criminal charges of alleged child sexual abuse, now involving 10 alleged victims over a 15-year span. Kurt Gregory, NBC News.
Sandusky also faced arraignment today on the new charges and is being held on $250,000 bond.
Tehran has blocked a newly created virtual embassy of the United States in Iran. The web-based U.S. embassy to Iran went online last night but could not be accessed this morning. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said the website was an attempt to make up for the loss of dialogue between Americans and Iranians since the closure of the physical embassy in Tehran back in 1981. But the Iranian government filtered and blocked the virtual embassy, redirecting those who try to access the site to a web page offering links to Iranian news, cultural, and religious sites.
The Tiger women misfiring in the first half, but running circles in the second half. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports with Eric Blumberg.
Welcome back, everyone. The Missouri women's basketball team hosting Eastern Illinois at Mizzou Arena. Both teams 5-1 on the season. Mizzou lost at Eastern Illinois last year, so the Tigers eyeing a little bit of revenge. She takes it coast to coast. Hallsville wins it 50-40. They'll play Centralia in the championship Friday night at 8 o'clock. We'll be back with a weather update after the break.
Welcome back. We will bottom out at 20 degrees to start your Thursday morning, then a high of 38. Cold front sliding through brings us some light flurries and light snow through Friday morning.
Santa bringing some early holiday cheer to Japanese children living in evacuation shelters today. Santa spent time with 30 children who have been living in a high school since the earthquake and tsunami on March 11th. Many of the people living at the high school are from a village in Fukushima Prefecture located near the damaged nuclear power plant. Santa gave the kids gift bags full of chocolate, candy, and cookies.
Santa had a sweet beard.
Mm-hmm. You said it. I noticed.
You kept going like this,
I know.
though.
I couldn't understand.
It was cool.
It was a little bit different. Okay, time to go. See ya.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.